Pokémon Emerald, an absolute fan favorite game across the entire Pokémon community. And yet somehow, I've never played this game. Well, it's time to finally fix that, and I might as well make another first and make this my first ever randomizer Nuzlocke as well. You probably already know what all that means, but as a quick recap, all wild encounters and their abilities are randomized. We can only catch the first Pokemon on each route. If a Pokemon ever faints, it's dead forever, and we nickname everything we catch so we get a little extra attached. I can't help but wonder though, all these years later, with all the quality of life improvements in the recent games, without having any nostalgia, can I still enjoy this game? Well, there's only one way to find out. This is my 24-hour Pokémon Emerald Nuzlocke. Our starters are randomized to Rattata, kinda trash, Jigglypuff, better but not good, and Elekid. The decision is not just kidding. Elekid, no question. Welcome to the team, John. Okay, sorry, there's one more thing, one more stipulation that I put on myself through this challenge that not even the people on the live stream knew I was doing behind the scenes. But to give you some background, I am not a good artist. Like, I am a stick figure artist, second grader level artist at best. So I thought it would be fun and kind of humorous to do my best to learn to draw through this by drawing the most crucial and important members and maybe some favorite members of the team through this playthrough. So started a second grade level, but maybe by the end of this I can make it to a third grade level? You'll have to let me know, but have fun laughing at my drawings along the way and hopefully they get better. As I was saying, welcome to the team, Jonathan. We're given 5 Pokeballs and the Nuzlocke has begun. We head off and we find ourselves a Farfetch'd, get it down in the red, and we ran out of balls. So no encounter here for us. Route 102, our encounter is Torchic, an actual Gen 3 starter, and it's dead. Route 103, we encounter a wild Sandshrew, and we finally catch a break, and it stays in the ball, no problem. Welcome to the team, Bloomin'. Finally another member of the team. As we continue along, we meet this kid Wally, who has heard how terrible we are at catching Pokemon, so he shows us how to catch a Spoink with his level 7 Primate. We'll show off. We take the skills and knowledge that Wally has just bestowed upon us to Route 104 and catch ourselves a Blissey. Welcome to the team, Omeletta. The team is coming together. Continuing on, we pick up Anders the Paris and we emerge from the woods, arriving in Rustboro City. It's time for us to take on our first gym leader. Now as we head into this gym, 2 more rules of this Nuzlocke. First is level caps. This means our team can't have a higher level than the gym leader's highest level when we enter the gym. Second, we're limited to 3 max items per battle. Since this is my first time playing Emerald, all the gym leaders will still have their original teams, but I legitimately have no clue what those teams are. With Bloomin' leading the charge, it becomes very clear from the first attack that we are not prepared for how bulky her team really was. Omeletta comes out for the longest battle of her life. She's double slapping her way to chip it down. A literal 10 minutes of real life time later, with tons of slapping and a fair number of soft boileds to heal us back up, we take down the first Geodude, and in comes yet another Geodude. This one takes another 6 minutes of slapping to take down, and then it's time for her ace, Nosepass. Bloomin' has been putting in a lot of work in the background sand attacking to make the opponents less accurate, so we send it back out to do its job. While foolishly using speed up to hurry up the process, Nosepass sneaks in a block, which prevents us from switching out, and we only have 1 PP left on our only attacking move. With all of our moves used up, we had only one option left, to struggle. With each struggle doing only 1 damage to us, but a fair amount to the Nosepass, this is actually going to come down to the very end of it. Bloomin' was not going down without making sure we could at least take home the win. Bloomin' sacrifices itself so that Omeletta can come in and slap this Nosepass right across the face for one last hit in this 22 minutes that it took for us to get this first badge. Thank you, Bloomin'. I'm sad your onion back will never blossom. Comment F down below for Bloomin's sacrifice. Continuing on, we get Dill the Laleep and Diego the Kecleon. From there we hop on a ship down to Dewford Town, where we get Suplexa the Meditite, Soy the Miltank, Ruthenium the Steelix, and Elphaba the Tyranitar. No shot. This is an encounter. From here, it's time to tackle the second gym leader, Brawly, the fighting type gym leader. Diego somehow already knows Psybeam, which should make most of these fighting types a breeze. So up first, Machop gets 1 shot with a crit. Up next is Meditite. Okay, so Psybeam is not the complete win con. Meditite bulks up, which is terrifying, but we have Lick. It's super effective, but just not that strong. So it takes a couple turns, but Diego knocks out this Meditite. Then his ace, Makuhita, comes in. Psybeam once, Psybeam twice. That's our second badge with a clean sweep from Diego. Some fighting gym that was. We hop back on the boat, and we're off to Slateport City. We catch a Rattata and a Smeargle, but much more importantly, we catch Lintel, the Bayleaf. From here, well, I didn't know it at the time, but as we're entering Route 110, we're entering the most treacherous stretch of land we have faced yet. Up first, we face off against our rival May. We take down her team, but her Wigglytuff put up a fight, leaving some of our most important Mons in a bad spot. As we race back to the Pokemon Center to heal up, we accidentally run into youngster Timmy. This is the true villain of Pokemon Emerald. But with my confidence high, I underestimate Timmy's true brutality and I put speed up on, because Jonathan can take anything, right? Well, this little a piece of Timmy lands a critical headbutt and takes out our starter, Jonathan. No. Elphaba comes in and finishes the job, but losing our starter is never easy. The pain sadly does not end there though. Right at the end of the route, when we thought we were free from the curses of this route, we come across Fisherman Dale. He proceeds to get over half of our team poisoned. Wanting to return the favor, I send out Anders, but on the swap in, his Wailmer goes for a rollout and takes us out in one shot. Another comrade fallen. Once again, Elphaba comes in to defy gravity, save the day, and put an end to the tragedy that has been Route 110. Having made it to Mauville City, we catch ourselves a Venomoth, name it Lunar. And then we catch a Why Not, name it Why Yes. And with that, it's time for Gym 3. Stepping on switches to clear a path to the gym leader, we make it to Watson. Elphaba sharpens up her teeth and bites right through his Voltorb and his Electrike. He sends out his Magneton and can clearly see the threat of Elphaba, so he paralyzes us. Elphaba could honestly probably work through it and stay in, but I'm not willing to risk it. Route 110 has left me scarred. We temporarily swap out into Diego, use our first item of the battle to get rid of the para, and swap Elfie right back in. Being healed and refreshed, Elfie crit rock slides both the Magneton and his Ace Manectric. Third badge obtained. Moving on, we catch Greta the Kangaskhan and Lotus the Venusaur. Then we head back up to Route 113, and as we walk over the ash-covered grass, our luck reaches new heights as we come across No Shot, a Dragonite. Now, the Dragonite catch rate in this game for a level 16 Dragonite at full health in Gen 3 is 6.249%. Not very good. However, if we can get it down into the red and status it and use one of our Great Balls, our odds increase to 40.958%. After checking off the first two requirements, we try our luck with our first Great Ball. An almighty Bidoof must be looking down on us because we catch it in the first ball. Welcome to the team, Douglas. Continuing on, we eventually make it to Verdantuff Town for the first time. Let me tell you, the music in this town, it hits like a warm hug. It feels so good. We take a moment to take it all in and go for a ride on the cable car to see the sights. Now is probably as good of a time as any to talk about the fact that the music in this game absolutely knocks it out of the park. All the music. It's crazy good. Anyways, as we pull up to Mount Chimney, my sightseeing is quickly deterred by a clear gang war that has broken out, and somehow we end up battling the leader of the Red Gang. It's honestly no big issue though. Elfie takes out his Mightyena, while Douglas comes in and takes care of the Camerupt and his Zubat. Down in Jagged Pass, we encounter a Horsey and catch it. Horsey holds a special place in my heart because it was the first ever full odds shiny Pokemon I ran into, so this little guy's name is Lucky. Now with luck on our side, it's time for Gym 4, Flannery, the Fire-type gym leader. We send out Lucky, and this little dude starts going to town with water guns, taking down her Numel, Slugma, and dealing some serious damage to Camerupt. The sun has been set up though, and Camerupt lets out a sun-boosted overheat. No! What in the world? I know that the sun is up, but that's bonkers! He wasn't with us for long, but he was a quick favorite. I'm gonna miss you, little dude. Douglas comes in and finishes off that Camerupt. From there, Elphaba comes in to the all too familiar scene of a lost comrade going down and her coming in to finish off the battle. 4 badges down, but already so many friends lost along the way. With half the gyms down, there's one person we must take on next. Our absentee father, Norman, the normal daddy type gym leader. Douglas leads the charge and takes out the Spinda immediately. Vigoroth comes out and Douglas sets off a Thunderwave to paralyze it, but this is not Douglas's fight. This is Elphabas. I don't want to risk switching her in and getting damage, so Supplexa comes out. Supplexa, it's not a pretty fate, but this is what you were meant to do. Supplexa sacrifices itself and Elphaba comes in on a clean switch in and finishes it off with a Rock Slide. From there, a very surprising move. Our dad sends out his ace Slacking early. Slacking is especially scary here because its normal ability prevents it from being able to attack every other turn. Here, it has a randomized ability, allowing this beast to attack us on every single turn. We swap into Lotus and get this bulky king poisoned and leech seeded, putting this big guy on a very quick ticking timer. We swap back into Elphaba, and with a super strong hit from a Rock Slide, Slacking is brought into the red. But then we see the words you never want to see. Slacking used counter. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Living on 8 HP like a complete legend, we use our first item to heal up and stall out the poison. But like father like son, our dad uses a Hyper Potion himself, bringing Slacking back to full health. This could go on and on. It's at this point where we remember something about the move Bite. See, even though Bite sure sounds like a physical attack and has been a physical move in all the recent games, back in these earlier games, the physical special split was purely based on type. And since it's a dark type move, in this gen, it is technically a special move, and counter can only deal damage to physical moves. With it not being able to respond with any counters, Alpha takes this guy down with 2 big chomps. From there, our dad sends in his poor Lanoon. Elphaba drops one last pile of rocks on it, and we have defeated our father and earned our 5th gym badge. Hopping into the Mirage Towers, we find ourselves Michelle the Octillery, then jumping way over to Route 119 in the tall grass, we run into a seal. Little do we know it yet, but this seal will turn out to be a legend once it evolves into a dugong. Welcome to the team, Harold. Not done yet though, one more to go for now, and we find another pivotal member of the team, CJ the Flaffy. Since our level cap is currently level 31, we can get CJ evolved up right now for our first evolution of the playthrough 13 hours in. CJ honestly couldn't have come a minute sooner though, as we head into our 6th gym to take on Winona, the flying type gym leader. CJ takes out most of the team on her own. Then Douglas comes in to take care of Tropius, with Elfie coming in to take out the Altaria. Must have been a flying type gym, because this one was a breeze. Okay, sorry, please subscribe. 6 badges down, moving on. It might not seem like a lot happens in this next hour, but in reality, one very important thing happens. First, we catch ourselves Teresa the Trico and evolve her all the way up. This is not the important thing, but it's way too good of a nickname to not mention. The important thing is Harold the Seal evolves into Dugong, and Harold wants to learn the move Sheer Cold. Now here's the thing about Sheer Cold. It is guaranteed to fully take out whatever Pokemon you are up against in one hit. The only catch is, it's only 30% accurate. Odds are this move will fail 70% of the time. That's a lot in a Nuzlocke. So naturally we learn it. It's time to take on our rival May again. She leads with her Tropius and we lead with Harold. Being one to tempt fate and trust in our boy Harold, we decide to go for that 30% chance Sheer Cold. No shot! No freaking shot! The legacy of Harold begins. That's crazy! Our boy has earned himself a rest. Amaletta, CJ, and Elfie all come in to finish off this battle. From here, we aimlessly wander for a solid 40 minutes because I had button mashed through the dialogue and I have no clue what I'm supposed to do next. I end up battling some random trainer and I decide to put Harold to the test again. No shot! We are 2 for 2. I am so sorry about the microphone right now. This dude is a sheer cold beast. If you haven't already given this video a like, give it a like for Harold. I finally figure out what we have to do next, and that's head to the red group, Team Magma, their secret base. Once we're there, we snag Helga the Machamp, then continue through this truly endless cave. We finally find our way to Maxie, who has made Groudon very angry, so naturally, he challenges us to a battle. Elphaba takes out the Mightyena no problem. Michelle comes in and is almost wrecked by an Earthquake from his camera up, but she is quick. She can take it out before it gets off one more hit, and then Elphaba comes back in and takes out the Crobat. With that one out of the way, we go for a surf and get 3 very important new team members. Wooly the Gorebyce, Penny the Gengar, and Rhetorical the Torkoal. Welcome to Hour 18. the hour where we get to take on one of the most dreaded things in any Nuzlocke, a double battle. And if you know Gen 3, you know that means it's the double battle against the gym leaders, Tate and Liza. This is the most uneasy I've felt this entire playthrough. In prep for it, we evolve up Dill and also bring Lunar onto the team to take this on. Douglas and Teresa lead the fight and are able to take out the Claydol quickly, soon followed by the Xatu. That might be half the Pokemon already down, but Tate and Liza's Solrock and Lunatone are no joke. Lunatone gets off a Calm Mind, making it even more terrifying than it already was. Luckily, Teresa breaks through its current confusion to get some solid damage on Solrock. But then Lunatone does yet another Calm Mind, and Solrock gets up the sun. This is terrifying. We go ahead and swap into Dill and Michelle, and it doesn't go over so well. Dill gets hit real hard, followed by Michelle getting nearly destroyed by a Solar Beam. Barely hanging on with only 4 HP, we use one of our 3 potions to try to keep her in the fight, but it's not enough. They're just too fast and too strong, doubling into Michelle, taking her out. Elphaba gets sent in to avenge her fallen comrades like usual and watches as Dill goes down right next to her. Teresa comes back in. With a vengeance that only Elphaba has mastered, she lets out a Thunderbolt that takes the Solrock out. Lunatone, however, is still a raging beast, and with its boosted stats, it decimates Teresa, soon followed by Lunar. Douglas rejoins Elphaba, and together, they finally take down this gym together. We claim our 7th badge, but mourn the loss of our 4 friends, Lunar, Dill, Teresa, and Michelle, as we put them to rest with the rest of those who have fallen before them. Once again, we have to go take care of that Maxi guy, and his admin Tabitha this time joins in. But this time, we're fighting alongside the former champion, Steven Stone. We have Wooly go in and take out the Camerupt. Then CJ comes in and thunder punches the Golbat, quickly followed by a Tabitha's Mightyena. Harold comes back out, we share a look, and we know what to do. Come on, Harold. Yes! The legend has landed all 3 of his 30% accurate sheer goals. In honor of Harold, we're pulling out for 2 seconds, and I'm taking you back to September 1998, where on this very Game Boy, where I put a little Gengar sticker, I am playing Pokemon Red for the very first time. Now let me tell you, I go into the Seafoam Caves, and I see and catch a seal. I gotta tell you, I don't know if this thing's good or not, but I think he's kind of cute, and I like him. So I evolve him up to a Dugong. That Dugong ends up taking me through the entire Elite Four, and honestly, is the MVP of my first ever Pokemon team. Now that that Dugong is lost forever due to a dead battery in my Pokemon Red cartridge, we're living on through Harold, as is that Dugong living on through Harold in this playthrough. And honestly, that's why Harold is an MVP of this team for me. For Maxie's Crobat, Steven Stone has his Aggron Rip of Thunder that finishes off this battle. Now on to go find the blue guy and take him down once and for all as well. On the way, we also catch Big Zap the Pelipper. Really not important, I just love Pelipper. We find the blue Team Aqua Archie guy hanging out by Kyogre, and we get to business. CJ takes out his Mightyena and Crobat with ease. His final Pokemon, Sharpedo, comes in and swaggers CJ, causing CJ's attack to be raised, but she becomes confused in the process. Next turn, CJ barely lives through a crit slash with only 13 HP left. All she has to do is break through the confusion to survive. Breakthrough, breakthrough. No! Douglas comes in and finishes things off with a Thunder, but this one hurt a lot. CJ had been with us through so many battles at this point and was truly one of the ones I was hoping to bring to the Elite Four. While I stare off into the distance, remembering the times I shared with CJ, Maxie and Archie run off, realizing their dumb cults have now led to near-world destruction. With Kyogre and Groudon now at war with each other, it's preventing me from getting to my final gym. Head off to Skypillar. Along the way, we welcome Jerry the Raichu to the team to fill the electric gap in our team from losing CJ. Making our way up to the top of Skypillar, we finally get to Ray Ray and tell him to go calm his friends down. He swoops in. Guys, can we just be friends and let Matt finish his adventure? Thanks, Ray Ray. Let's go get this final badge. Juan is a water-type gym leader, so we call upon our newest member, Jerry the Raichu, along with some old friends. Lotus the Venusaur, and we evolve up Lintel into a Meganium for an electric grass trio to take this gym down. Lotus starts us off strong by taking out Juan's Love Disc. Jerry comes in and takes out the Celio, then Lintel takes care of the Whiscash. With Juan feeling the pressure, he sends out his ace Kingdra early. Knowing the threat of an Ice Beam, we still take the risk and swap back into Lotus to get a Leech Seed and a Poison down. While Lotus is able to get the seed planted, he misses the Poison and takes one for the team. From here, Jerry knows what to do to bring it home. With a couple of shockwaves, both Kingdra and his Crawdont go down, and we have made it through our final gym. With Victory Road looming in front of me, we fish up one of the very last encounters available to us. Jerry is 14 levels above this Rhydon, so I'm pretty sure our only option is to start chucking Ultra Balls. Ball 1, no good. Ball 2, no good again. Rhydon uses Rock Blast. No, no, no! What is this Rhydon? We just lost Jerry. It finally stays in the ball, but it initially doesn't feel worth it. The deaths just keep stacking up. We finally decide to name it Gerald in Jerry's memory. How did this underleveled dude ever take out Jerry so easily though? We have a Huge Power Rhydon! If you don't know, Huge Power is one of the most broken abilities in the game. It takes a Pokemon's attack stat and doubles it. Back when Gen 3 came out, there were 386 Pokemon that had been released. Rhydon was already tied as the 9th strongest in attack at 130 base attack. Double that attack stat to 260, this is almost without a doubt the strongest Pokemon in this game. Stronger than Ultra Necrozma, who has 167, stronger than Mega Garchomp at 170, stronger than Mega Rayquaza at 180, and stronger than the strongest base attack stat Mega Mewtwo X at 190. We're still 70 points higher than that. We have found our final puzzle piece in Gerald. Thank you for your sacrifice, Jerry. Making our way through Victory Road, there's one last major battle before we can continue on. Wally, the kid who made fun of us for not being able to catch any Pokemon earlier on. It's time to put Gerald's huge power to the test. Unleashing Rock Blasts, it takes out Altaria, Roselia, and Delcatty, all in one attack each. Gardevoir's speed though gets the best of us and takes Gerald down to 4 HP with a Psychic. Gerald gets off some damage, but we're not risking losing this champion yet. Douglas taps in, Steel Wings, and takes out the Gardevoir, and then Rhetorical comes in to finish this off and melts the magnets down to put an end to Wally's saga. All that stands between us now is winning 5 battles. After spending a lot of time deciding which 6 team members to bring, we come to the final conclusion of Douglas, Gerald, Penny, Harold, Rhetorical, and Helga. Up first is Sydney. Helga comes in and sets up with a bulk up. From here, she sweeps this team up, one shot after one shot. Crawdont does its best with a Surf, but Helga is here to earn her spot in history. One down. Up next is Phoebe, and it's time for Penny to lead the charge. Penny takes out the Dusclops and the first Banette, one-shotting with Shadow Balls. Phoebe's next Banette hangs on by a thread though, and retaliates hard with its own Shadow Ball, and Penny goes down. Penny, you may be gone. I mean, you are a ghost, so I guess gone again, but you will forever be remembered as our waving emoji for Snivy Squad members on this channel. Subtle plug, become a member. Anyways, Rhetorical comes in and finishes off Banette and the next Dusclops. Very diverse team she has. For her final ace, Sableye, Gerald comes in and takes out with a huge power Earthquake. 2 down, 3 to go. For Glacia, it's back to Helga. With a bulk up, she grabs her broom and sweeps this team with ease. Like I was saying, 3 down, 2 to go. And then there's Drake, the final member of the Elite Four, and the final battle before we take on the champion. Harold comes out and Ice Beams both his Shelgon and Salamence. Gerald comes out and eats a couple of hits from Altaria before taking it out with an insane Rock Blast. For Kingdra, Douglas comes in, lands a Thunder, and then Dragon Claws to finish it off. His ace is Flygon, and we need to get Harold healed up with one of our potions, and then we need to get him back in with a clean switch. Rhetorical comes out. He knows that our final battle is against the champion who uses water types, and he will be of no use. He sacrifices himself for the rest of the team so that Harold can come in and one-shot with one more Ice Beam. One battle is all that stands left between us and becoming champion. Wallace, the current champion. He leads with a Wailord, and we lead with Helga. Helga gets off a bulk up, but before we can use that, Wailord lets rip a huge water spout, and down goes Helga. Not the start we wanted. We only have 3 Mons left. Harold comes out, There's not much we can do against this Whale Lord, so we risk it all for another sheer cold. After all these battles, Harold was worn out and just couldn't land it and went down too. You're always a legend in my eyes, Harold. At this point, I was honestly accepting defeat. I had a rock type, which is weak to all these water types, and I had Douglas left. Douglas comes out, and with the rain up, he can land his thunders 100%. Down goes Wailord, down goes Tentacruel. Using a thunder on his Milotic, we get the very small 10% chance of paralyzing it. Take it one step further, it remains too paralyzed to attack that turn. It's like Harold was still there on his shoulder telling him he could do it. The rain lets up, so thunder is no longer 100% accurate. Douglas tries to land one but misses, and he takes a super effective ice beam right to the face, but holds on by a thread. We swap out to Gerald, who takes another brutal ice beam, and this time they get the 10% chance of freezing us. We use our first potion to heal up, and luck is back on our side as Milotic is too paralyzed to move again. Gerald lets an earthquake rip, and Milotic is gone. Still 3 Pokemon left. Ludicolo comes out, and Gerald has no option but to take one for the team. It all comes down to Douglas. We heal him up with our second potion and take Ludi out with a wing attack. 2 Pokemon left. Gyarados comes in, and with another Thunder landed, it's done for too. It's 1v1. Douglas versus Whiscash. The thing about Whiscash is, it's part ground type, so our Thunder has 0 effect on it. Douglas wing attacks, he surfs. Douglas gathers all the strength it has left and wing attacks again and gets this Whiscash down to 1 HP. Then the words that I never wanted to see. Whiscash used Hyper Beam. In slow motion, I'm watching as Douglas's HP bar is dropping. I'm sweating bullets. Oh, we're fine. Douglas is a beat. It's a Whiscash, guys. With what feels like a victory lap, Douglas lets off one final move for this adventure. We have officially become champion of this randomizer Nuzlocke. But that still leaves the question from the start. How fun will Gen 3 game be in 2024 without the new quality of life improvements from recent games? Honestly, it was an absolute blast of a 24 hours. Well, technically 28 hours if you include the in-game speed up time. There's something truly special that a 2D Pokemon sprite brings me. Maybe it's something real, or maybe it's just nostalgia. I don't know. Oh yeah, and hey, from Jonathan all the way up to Gerald, I think we can confidently say I got at least 1 grade level better at drawing. Like, Jonathan's 2nd grade, Gerald 3rd grade level? Huh? Let me know in the comments down below, or just laugh at me, or laugh at me in the comments. It's up to you. Peace.